everyone, and a warm welcome to this Question Talk session. I am Srinjay Rakshit, delighted to host this session and Jashwant being the co-host. As a fellow student and member of CHESS, I am excited to facilitate discussion with our distinguished guest today. We have the privilege of having a super senior amongst us who has recently secured a position of management trainee at ITC Limited, and we are eager to hear about her journey and experiences. Without further ado, let's dive into the conversation and utilize most of this opportunity to gain from her valuable insights and experiences. Please join me in welcoming Miss Rishita Modak. Congratulations on your incredible achievement, Didi.
Thank you so much.
Can we proceed with the questions?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, work-life balance is crucial in today's world. How does ITC approach this for its employees, and what steps are taken to ensure a healthy and sustainable work environment?
Okay, this is a tricky question, though. But see, in the initial years, you shouldn't be very much focused towards this thing. Yeah, obviously, you need to have a personal life and all these things. Everybody has it, but in the initial years, you should be more focused in learning and whatever opportunities you get in learning, and you just need to maximize your learnings and experience to basically grow in life. And with that, see, there are two things. If you're placed in the head office, you'll have enough holidays and all these things. But during your initial years, for your experience, you are always placed in the factories mostly. So life in factory is a bit difficult, obviously, because as you know, like in case of ITC, in factory, you have 6 days a week work.
Uh,
So
Yes, sure.
it might be a bit difficult. That is the reason I told you guys that I'm free on Sunday and I'll have this meet on Sunday. Otherwise, it's nice. Like presently, I'm in Haridwar. Like for my factory stint, I'm in Haridwar. I have not been positioned yet into a role. So this thing usually will happen within the next 1 or 2 months. So obviously that is going to be again in a factory. Most likely it is going to be in a factory. So it will be tough in the initial years, and also when you are just out of the college. Like I have graduated just 6 months before, so you're not used to this regular thing of going to the office, waking up early. And since I'm staying in Haridwar, it's really cold here. So I have also gone in A shifts, like at 6 a.m. in the morning when it's
Arey
just five
baapre.
degrees yeah, and it is 5 degrees outside and it's freezing cold. But then you actually enjoy it when you go and you see that you can learn a lot from there. So I've learned like how the processes happen. You learn about the manpower deployments, how shift activities actually happen. So you have to go through these things. It might seem very hard in the initial years. Like I also think sometimes, like yeah, some people are in IT who are getting the privilege of staying in Bangalore and having a nice life. But then at the end of the day, you feel happy that yes, you're learning something. Like really, like how the shift
Towards
activities
the
and
core.
everything. Yeah, so
Perfect.
those are some interesting things you'll be learning, and at the end you'll see that you have grown a lot, have learned a lot of things. So it will be exciting, and at the same time you'll have some personal life, like staying in Haridwar. Though Haridwar is a small city and everything, but during the weekends or something, like when you have 1 or 2 days of holidays, I can go up to Rishikesh and Masuri. So those are like some nice places you can visit, so that will happen. So you need
Mm.
not worry about work life balance at this moment. It will
Uh,
happen.
so the tell us something about the process of getting selected in ITC. Any specific skills that you think played a crucial role?
Um, so I wouldn't say like you need some specific skill or anything. You just have to be like thorough with your subjects, and you should be well prepared about your projects and subjects. That's it. And you just have to be like prompt enough, and that's enough.
Sure.
Can
So,
you elaborate any project about any project that helped you the most?
Like it's not like any particular project that helped me. It's like overall they'll ask you about what you have done throughout your BTech career, BTech phase, and what are the subjects you've learned, what are the projects you've done. So it's a accumulation of everything. So it's not like any specific project, but yeah.
So,
The
what
can
are
you
the most challenging
mm,
aspects of the interview and selection process?
you see?
Okay, so in my case, so that was the first time that ITC came to the campus with this program. So I was not aware of the process initially, what will happen and how the things will go on. I did not get any like insights from any seniors, like how this thing for ITC specifically happens. So I had prepared generally, like as you prepare for any interview, and the process was a bit extensive because we had our apti round, and the next day and the results came basically at late at night at 11:30 or so, 11:30, and the interview was scheduled the next day, and we had our pre-placement talk from 9 a.m. in the morning. So basically what happened with me was at 11 I thought, oh, okay, the results haven't come till now, so tomorrow the interview won't happen. But then at 11:30, I get the
Is
message
it
that, yeah, you have
Results
been selected for the next
selected.
round. And I was like, okay, I have to prepare and all these things. But you actually have to prepare for the interviews. Um, you have to start preparing it sometime before so that it doesn't create a pressure right at that moment. You can start preparing with the subjects and some HR questions and all these things. And the process that was there in case of ITC, you had the APTI round, and then I had the GD round. Then there was this technical interview round and the HR interview round, and the results came the next day. So I
and
still
what are
remember
the
that.
questions you are faced in technical round?
Technical, may they asked me something related to the one was they actually asked me a lot of questions, and something related to the heat exchanger they asked. I don't even remember all the questions now.
What was the
Something
major what was the major
So main
subject they were asking?
topics.
Main
they
topics they
asked
were
me
asking.
several topics.
Acha.
One was from some. They asked how will you design a reactor. Then about heat exchanger and something related to these things, environment and all these things. Like something related to it was somehow related to my project. Like I had a project on zeolite, so it was something related to my project. It was on this industrial wastewater treatment and all these things. So if you have an idea overall about chemical engineering, so you can answer the questions. It is not really very tough, but yes, if you have read more or less about it, you can answer.
The can you tell us something about the HR round? Like what type of questions are asked in the HR round and how to answer it in a safely so that you don't fall into the blacklist of the interviewers.
Okay, so in this case, for me, they asked me about my internship and projects and all these things. And apart from that, they'll ask you like if you are comfortable in working any location or not. Are you comfortable in working in remote areas? Uh, So these kind of questions. So you should be well prepared about all these things. Just don't show anything negative. Like, no, I am very location specific. I want to work in this area. Otherwise, it's fine. You should be well prepared. And also, they ask you about your strengths and weaknesses. Also, like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So the as a technical management trainee, what are the some of the key responsibilities and challenges you anticipate facing? How do you plan to prepare yourself for this?
Now, till now, I haven't faced any sort of challenge in that case, like in the workplace. But see, it's always a bit challenging because you are not well aware about the industry things. You are straight out of college, and you in college the ambience is completely different, and in industry it is completely different. In college, you are always like in a secured and safe atmosphere, and your professors are always there to help you. Some might think that the professors might scold you or something, but they are always there to help you. But in industry, you have to do a lot of things by yourself. You have to drive things by yourself. There is nobody who will come and tell you things like you need to learn this or you need to learn that. You yourself have to find things out, and will have to approach people that I want to learn about this thing. So please brief me about this or anything. It's always by you that you have to drive things. That is the biggest change or challenge, you might say, that I've seen.
So, as a management trainee at ITC, what are your future career aspirations within this organization?
So presently, it's about the position that you get, and like obviously, I want to learn things. I want to grow in this organization. Uh, that's all. Like till now, I haven't thought much about this. It's basically I'm going with the flow, and it's just when I'll get positioned, I'll learn about the roles, how things happen. So if you get exposure of different departments and different roles, that is when you basically learn. So I want to get some flavor of different roles in the company so that I can learn a lot of things. Like specifically in FMCG, I'll tell you there are three departments coming from a technical background. There is this quality control or quality assurance, and there is maintenance, and there is this planning and production. So these three departments are pretty different, but at the same time, they are interlinked. So I want to learn in all these three departments if I get the opportunity. So it will basically enhance my learning. And there are different roles, like in quality, you get to handle a lot of things. In production, you basically get to plan how the production happens. And there are a lot of things involved in these things. So that.
In what ways do you think the culture and values of your college influenced your personal professional development, ultimately contributing to your success in the corporate world?
See, this is like too early to answer this question because success in corporate world comes quite later. But one thing that I'll say, in college, I have worked on several projects. So that is where I have started learning. And also, I have been in dance club, and there I've learned how to work in a team. And while doing my projects, also I've learned that. That is what has helped me in working in ITC as well. And I hope this will help me in future. And I'm learning things every day, so that is how I think that will help me.
Sudhi, can you elaborate your project that you have made on the geolite about that project?
Okay, so this was a project that I had done in second year. This was mostly on this was a very small project basically. That was basically a review paper that I was writing, and it was mostly how to prepare zeolite from in a very sustainable manner. So that's it. Like in detail, if you ask me, I should have you should have told me before that I
Okay.
need to see the projects because I've forgotten a lot of things about my project now. That was something I did in second year. So
So, looking forward to this, what kind of demanding projects or project topics that the companies like ITC and Reliance, those who come to our college, are
mhm.
demanding from the upcoming students? Like how the way that students can prepare themselves in the upcoming years. Means
So in
how
this case, I'll tell you all these simulation-based projects, like if you're doing some project in Aspen or if you're doing MATLAB-based projects and CFD, these are some of the projects that will really help you because in today's world, they are very much focused on these areas. So, like, majorly, like, as you asked me about the zeolite project, I have forgotten maximum part of the zeolite wala
no issues
project.
with
But
no issues.
I remember the other projects because those are the areas I actually focused on mostly. If you want, you can approach SKL sir and Obiran sir. These two professors have helped me a lot throughout my degree, and they are the ones under whom I have worked, and they'll really guide you in a very nice way and how you should approach your projects. Like SKL sir can teach a lot about Aspen and MATLAB projects, and you can always approach Obram sir for the CFD based projects. He is really helpful. Also, I must mention here that in my ITC after round, Obram sir had a really great part to play because on that day my internet issue I had some internet issue, so I gave the exam from Obiram sir's room, and I sat on his chair and gave the exam. He was so kind to leave his room for me to give the exam. So I'm really, really helpful to sir.
That was so good, D. And finally, here's the final question. What advice would you give to current students and young professionals who are interested in pursuing a career in technical management, particularly at ITC?
It's just that focus on your academics, focus on the projects, just learn things. At the same time, have some fun because you're not going to have this college life
Once
for
again,
long. So once you pass out, you are going to really miss it. But yeah, you should always focus on your academics and projects. And projects are really going to help you. That is the main thing that is going to make you stand out among the other students. So that's all.
For sure, this will help our juniors and with their placements. As for the viewers, thank you for watching this video. Please like and share the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In case of any queries, let us know in the comment section below. And Team Chess signing off.